Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. This is Champion 2D Rob. This is my first pickups video of 2014. Do have a lot of great stuff here. Strangely, a lot of my stuff for these last couple of months, because these have been pickups basically for the last 2 months, and I've got quite a lot of accessories, surprisingly. But before we get into the games, I did want to sort of give out a couple more shout outs. I was sort of watching back my last video, and I realised that I obviously missed a lot of people out when I was doing my initial shout out. Just sort of people that I generally tend to communicate on a regular basis, people that I sort of missed out. Knowing me, I'm probably still going to miss out on a few people, so sorry if I still miss out a few people. So this is just the people that I sort of neglected to mention in my last video that I wanted to shout out to. I wanted to give a shout out to Horatio Van Basten, who comments on my videos. Lebossu77, you're a top dude, mate. I really do enjoy your content, so I definitely want to give you a shout out. Sneztastic Pete, definitely want to give you a shout out, mate. You're a top dude, very nice fella. You know, you always respond to my videos, you always comment back. You're just a top guy. Cybersnake7J, definitely have to give you a shout out, mate, because you're a top guy. Paul Bradley, you're another top guy, mate. I love watching your videos, so yeah, definitely want to give you a shout out. Dave, I'm a game geek, another great YouTuber. Can't wait to have a look at your collection, mate, 'cause I know you keep telling me you got a lot of got some full sets, and got a massive collection that you've been sort of picking up for years, so definitely want to see that. Who else am I missing out on? Rob Carroll Gaming. Yeah, give you a shout out, mate. Oh god, it's always the way, isn't it? Like, you're trying to think of people's names, you know you're missing people out. Oh, I'm gonna kick myself now if I can't think of any names. Oh, sorry, Shen Muso, Shock16. How can I forget those two, mate? Great guys. Yeah, great channels, both of them. Although, Shock16, Adam, where are you, mate? I haven't seen you in ages. Make some videos. Who else? Oh, there's just so many. It's really gonna be really annoying. Stu Roro. Yeah, definitely you, mate. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna stop there because it's gonna. I know I want to end this video, and then I'm gonna like remember everyone else. But Rich King Retro, there we go. There's another guy I want to give a shout out to as well, top guy. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Pickups. First pickups of 2014, and I'm gonna say this is a good one. Got a lot of good stuff here. Some great sort of current gen sort of PS3 stuff. As well as some great retro stuff, and I managed to pick up another Super Nintendo Grail, a highly sought after game by me. It's actually a game I already have as a loose cart, but I wanted it boxed, and I'm so happy to finally get it. It is a game that has eluded me for a very long time. It's been very frustrating to get, and it was definitely a top priority for me, so I'm very happy to now finally get it. But before I get into that, I wanted to show you guys the gift that was given to me for Christmas, and it's actually it's not a gaming related item. So let me have a coffee. It's not a gaming related item, but it's a really cool item I thought I would share with you guys, just to let you know what I got. Because actually, you know what, for Christmas, I didn't actually get any games, really. Aside from the stuff that I bought for myself, I got no gaming related stuff. In fact, I didn't really get anything for Christmas, besides what I'm about to show you. But don't get me wrong though, this is awesome. So I was really happy to get it. And what I got was some headphones. You can see here's the Beats by Dre. Yeah, the Beats by Dre headphones. I'll show you them. Let's see. And this is them. Awesome headphones. Just pull them out like so. they got like a switch here which sort of cancels out the noise. It's really awesome. Yeah, so these are what I got for Christmas, and I love them to bits because I am a massive music lover. I'm very big into my hip hop music, so I'll definitely use them. Although I gotta say, because they're very expensive headphones, I'm sort of paranoid to take them out, to be perfectly honest with you. I rarely go anywhere with them. I'm sort of waiting for the summertime when the weather gets better before I start using them properly out and about. But I've wanted to have them for a very long time, so I'm really glad to get these. They're a very great gift. These were given to me, so I was really happy to get that. Next thing I wanted to show you guys is a trade that I did with the retro chef Lee. About a few weeks back, I met up with Lee again, and also Nismo Ocarina Carl. We sort of agreed to meet up again at PlayNation Games. That's the retro store in Croydon. We decided to meet up again. It was very brief. Unfortunately, I was a little bit late. I think they were in there for about an hour before I showed up. And when I did show up, I think they thought I wasn't going to show, and they were just about heading out the door when I sort of came in. So I was really felt bad about that, actually, because I don't know, they're probably waiting for me for a bit, and they would decide to go, and just as they were leaving, I came in. So they did stick around for a little bit, just to have a little bit of a chat. But they, for a brief period, they sort of took off just to have another look around the shops. I said I was going to stay behind at PlayStation just to have a good look around. Unfortunately, that day there wasn't nothing that really caught my eye games-wise. You know, I'd imagine it'd already been picked through. I imagine Lee probably got the jump on me this time. But yeah, there wasn't really any sort of games that were sort of catching my eye. But I did manage to pick up one thing. But before I get into that, while we were at PlayNation, me and Lee did do a trade. And well, I say a trade. Initially, it was gonna be I was gonna buy some stuff off him. But I brought some things down with me, so just some stuff that I was going to trade in at PlayNation. And before I traded it in, I just sort of gave Lee first dibs, really, just to see if there was anything in there that he wanted, that we could possibly trade for the stuff that he was gonna initially sell me. And there was. He picked out a game. I won't say what it is. I'll wait for him to make his video, because you know, I'm sure he'll want to show it. So I'll just wait. He'll show it in his video. But yeah, so we made a trade, and he gave me some stuff. And the first thing that we traded for was for a black label copy of Final Fantasy VII. Now, I always wanted to get this back into my collection. I already had Final Fantasy VII, but it was a platinum copy. It was my original copy, though. The platinum copy that I had, I bought brand new back in the 90s. But it always bothered me. You know, I'm trying to phase out my platinums if I can. I'll probably keep some of them, but otherwise I'm trying to keep most of my games as original black labels. And it's in pretty decent nick. The discs are fine. There was some sticky residue on a couple of the discs, Lee. Anyway, but I managed to clean them off, no problems with some alcohol, so they're fine now. And there's a crack on the case here, but it doesn't affect the opening or closing, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Because what really bugs me about PlayStation cases when they're cracked is when they're cracked at the hinges and they just come off. That really bugs me. But if it's like this, I don't care, because you put it on the shelf and it's not noticeable, so I don't really care about that. But yeah, thanks a lot, Lee. Thanks for this, because I definitely really want to get this back in my collection, so thanks for that. And the other thing that we traded for, and I'm really happy about this, because initially I didn't know he even, well, I assumed he probably did, but I didn't think about it like he was going to offer this to me. Essentially, most of you that know that I have a very large PlayStation 2 collection, You know, it's an investment. I dedicate a lot of time to picking up a lot of my games. I've got a lot of rare games for the PlayStation 2. You know, so I always wanted to get another system for it. You know, just a spare system, because it's always worth having another one in case your first one breaks or whatever. So he kindly traded me this silver PlayStation 2 Slim. And it also came with a silver PS2 pad, which I won't show you because you all know what a PS2 pad looks like. But it's silver as well. It came with a stand. He got me all the cables as well. So he traded me this system with Final Fantasy VII for the game that I traded him. And just for the record, the game that I gave him was a very good game. So quite a pricey game. So just to sort of even out the trade a little bit. But yeah, so he gave me that. So thanks, Lee, very much for the trade, mate. Really appreciate it. It was great seeing you again, as well as you, Carl. Great seeing you again. We had a good chat. So, you know, we spent a good, 15-20 minutes having a little chat. So, yeah, great seeing you guys again. Hopefully we'll do it again soon. So that was essentially my trades that I did at Play Nation. But I did pick up one thing at Play Nation Games. Like I was saying before, there was no games there that really caught my eye. And as I was sort of standing inside Play Nation Games, essentially what it was, I sort of spent a few minutes sort of looking around the store by myself while the Retro Chef and Nismo Ocarina sort of went out to CEX and had a look around elsewhere. Then they sort of came back, and as we were sort of standing there chatting, I sort of noticed in their display case an accessory that I have wanted for a very long time. The reason why I never got it before was because it's very expensive. It wasn't really, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, and this is something that tends to go for a lot of money. But fortunately, I did get a lot of credit. I sort of traded in a lot of stuff and got quite a bit of credit. So the thing that I actually bought was the Street Fighter 4 Tournament Edition arcade stick, and this is for the PS3. Really chuffed to get this. It did come, I'll just show you quickly. It did come boxed. It's in lovely condition, the box, so really happy with that. Now, this is a system that tends to go for over £100. It's generally sort of around the 100 to £120 mark when you buy it brand new. It was being sold at Play Nation for £70 used, but I managed to get some credit. I'd sort of brought in quite a bit of stuff, and I ended up with about sort of £40 credit. So I only paid £30 for this. So I was really happy to get this, because I've always wanted to get this particular arcade stick for my PlayStation 3. Most of you know I'm a big fight fan. I've got loads of 2D fighters. And what's great about the stick as well, you know, is it also works with some of the 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups that I have for the PlayStation 3 as well, such as Final Fight, which I have on the PlayStation Network, as well as Dungeons and Dragons, which is awesome. So I love playing on this, and so I was really happy to get this finally in my collection, and to get it for such a good price. So yeah, I've got that. Okay. So yeah, so moving on from that, I also picked up another accessory for the PlayStation 3, and it's funny because I sort of needed this for the majority of the time, but I never really had to. It's essentially what I bought was I picked up another PlayStation 3 pad, but it's a little bit special. Essentially, I had only one sort of DualShock 3 pad, as well as the original sort of 6-axis pad. But I always wanted to get another DualShock pad for my PS3. And I thought, you know, I decided to get like a special edition one that that I'd always wanted to get. I'd seen it on Amazon for a long time, so I just, it was around Christmas time, so I decided to treat myself and pick it up. And what I got was the God of War Ascension PS3 pad. So it's a DualShock 3. They can just barely make it out because of the glare, but it's got, you can see Kratos' face here and the God of War symbol here. So I was really, really glad to get this, just because I need another pad. But it's funny that now that I've got it, I don't even know if I even want to take it out of its packet, because it is a limited edition. So I'm still deciding whether to even open it. But yeah, it's just really nice to have. So really, really happy to get this as well. And now we're moving on to the games. I've got a nice little stack of games here. I've got some 3DS games, some PlayStation 3 games, and I've got one boxed a Game Boy Advance game and 2 Super Nintendo games, which I'm going to leave till last. So the first set of games I've got here is for the 3DS. Now, I have to say, I really do love my 3DS. The 3DS is such a fantastic system. It's a shame about what's been going on recently with Nintendo and the Wii U. I know the Wii U's not been performing very well, because, I do like the system, and it's definitely a system that I was hoping to get at some point down the line. But if it's not really getting the support that it needs, aside from, Nintendo first party titles, it's very difficult for me to want to commit to that system, because at the end of the day, it costs a lot of money, and you want to be sure that, what you pay for is going to, have some sort of longevity. I don't really like to buy a console just because it's an underdog console. As much as I love Nintendo, these things cost a lot of money, and I'm not prepared to spend all that money on something that's not going to have longevity. So, but the 3DS on the other hand has been a fantastic handheld. A lot of top quality stuff has been coming out for it, so I've been really, really happy. And I picked up a few games for the system. And I've got a nice little selection of 3DS games. I'll be slowing down this year. There is one game that's coming out at some point down the line for the 3DS that I can't wait to get at some point, which I'll probably get when it's released. But in the meantime, I picked up these 3 games, and from what I've played of them, they're fantastic so far. First game I picked up was Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. Now, this is actually the only one I haven't tried yet. I haven't got around to playing this, and that's because I've been playing Arkham Origins. I know this one takes place after that game, so I've just been waiting till I complete Arkham Origins. I'm currently stuck on Bane. I'm fighting Bane for the first time, and I'm finding him quite difficult to beat. So before I even touch this, I've got to complete Arkham Origins first. And the next one I picked up here was Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Awesome game. I've always wanted to try this game out. When I saw it, it was originally on the Wii. I was almost very tempted to get a Wii just so I could play this game, but decided not to. So I was really happy that it eventually came out on the 3DS. And finally, I picked up Star Fox 3D. Strangely, I've never actually played any of the Star Fox games before. I completely missed out on it on the Super Nintendo. Never played the N64 version, so I was pleasantly surprised when I finally got to play this, because it's a fantastic game. Really like the graphics. This one really caught my attention in terms of its graphics, its controls. Really did enjoy this game, so very, very happy to get it. Although I was quite gutted when I bought this game, actually. I paid sort of, I think I paid about 20 quid for this game, and literally about a week later it dropped down to like 11 quid. I was so gutted, because I've been sort of holding off from buying this game for the longest time, and I finally decided to pick it up for Christmas, and it dropped in price a little bit later on, so I was really annoyed by that. But oh well, that's how these things go, I suppose. But yeah, really, really happy though to get this game. Okay, moving on now to the stack of PlayStation 3 games here. I've got a nice little stack here. definitely been enjoying my PS3 as of late. It's definitely been the console of this sort of generation that has been sort of the most has sort of catered to the more hardcore gamer. A lot of 2D games, 2D fires, you know, JRPGs. A lot of this stuff that's sort of from the more Eastern games have been sort of coming out exclusively for the PS3, and they've just had a lot of really cool, really great exclusives. The PlayStation 3 really has been one of my favourite systems. Some excellent exclusives have come out for it, and some great support from Japan. I know that Japanese game development has not been where it used to be back in the day, but the PlayStation 3 still receives a lot of the more hardcore games, a lot of the 2D fighters, the very sort of Japanese style 2D fighters. Been getting a lot of support from those companies that make those games, so it's been great for me because as a fan of a big supporter of 2D games, that's always been very important for me, and I love 2D fighters, so anything that supports 2D fighters, 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups will generally tend to garner my favour. But I've got a nice little stack of games here for the PS3. Just sort of stuff that I picked up in the last 2 months, from December through most of January as well. And the first thing I picked up was Deadpool. Yeah, this is quite a cool little game actually. I'm a big fan of the character. I'm not a huge fan of this. Deadpool's got a very sort of quite a decently sized cult following in comics, but I'm not that big of a fan. But I'm definitely a fan of the character, and I wanted to check this game out. So yeah, it was really cool. Picked this up for about 20 quid, so just really happy to get that. And of course, I had to pick up GTA 5. I had to pick this one up. I haven't played it yet, it's still sealed. Just been waiting for it to come down in price, that's why they've picked it up sooner. Yeah, really can't wait to get stuck into this, because my friend who's a big fan of the GTA series has told me this game has sort of ironed out some of the issues that I had with previous GTA games. So really looking forward to getting stuck into this one at some point. And sticking with Grand Theft Auto, I also picked up GTA episodes from Liberty City. I got this at CEX. It was going for 6 quid, and it has the 2 sort of extended games, The Lost and the Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony. So happy to get this because I hear it's really good. So yeah, got that. I was also in a very sort of stealthy mood. I was feeling about picking up some stealth games, and this series is one that I sort of passed on, strangely enough, during its PS2 run, for whatever reason. I do have the first game on the PlayStation 2 that I sort of picked up at a cash converters, but I decided to get this because I wanted to sort of try out the brand new game that's coming out. Well, it's not new anymore, but it's on the PS3. So I thought I'd start with the original trilogy, and that is the Splinter Cell trilogy. Still sealed. I got this for about 11 quid. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying this out because I have played a bit of the first game on the PS2, and I really did quite enjoy it. So I definitely want to sort of play through the campaigns and eventually move on to the PS3 game as well. Okay, and this is a game that I'm really happy to get. It's a game that hasn't been given a UK, a European release yet, but it is available in the States. So I imported it, and it's a game that I'm really happy to get. And this is what I was referring to when I was talking about the support that the PS3 gets from a lot of Japanese developers. It's a 2D fighter. It's still it's a fairly new game, but I got it for a good price. And yeah, it's an American import, and the game is Aquaplus Dream Match, and this is a very good 2D fighter. It's very Japanese. It's essentially, I think the characters are a mishmash from various sort of Japanese manga books, as well as I think some RPGs as well, and it's sort of been all put together in a fighting game. What I love about these Japanese fighters, I mean, I can tell you now, this during the PS2 era would not have gotten a release in the West, and you know, it probably won't get a release in Europe. But I was really glad that it at least came out in the US, so I could import it. It is region free. It plays perfectly well on the PS3, on my PS3, and it's a fantastic game. It's really one of those just very typical Japanese game. I mean, I love the oddball nature of the characters that the sort of Japanese create. I mean, there's one character in this game who's like a schoolgirl, and she's basically sort of carrying around like a stack of books, and that's how she fights. Like, she fights with holding a stack of books the entire time. It's really weird, and that's what I love about the Japanese, and I love these sort of really quirky Japanese games. And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The 2D graphics are just highly detailed. Just a fantastic game. Really do enjoy this one. Like all the other 2D fighters, to be perfectly honest with you, all the 2D fighters that have come out for the PS3 so far have been fantastic. I'm really enjoying Persona 4 Arena. That's a fantastic game. As well as, you know, the Blaze Blue series is fantastic. Battle Fantasia is a great game. And of course, you know, Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, they're all awesome games. But these sort of more traditional 2D ones, oh, I can't forget King of Fighters 13, that's another fantastic game. But yeah, really do enjoy this game. So guys, you should definitely check out Aquaparza. Very odd name, but it's a very cool game. Definitely check this one out, guys, especially if you're a fan of 2D fighters. And I would definitely seek this one out because, you know, it came out not too long ago. And I reckon this one might be quite rare in the future, so definitely pick this one up, guys, if you get the chance. And finally, I've got a game here that I was very excited to get. This is a game that recently got a physical release. Initially, it was a digital-only release, but I held off because I sort of heard rumblings that there was going to be a physical release of this game. So I was very excited. It never got a physical release here in Europe. As usual, Europe gets shafted, but it did come out in the US, so I quickly snagged a copy, and I've been playing it, and it's a fantastic game. Really have been enjoying it, and that is Disney's DuckTales Remastered. This is a fantastic game. Really have been enjoying this one. Great, lovely 2D graphics, hand-drawn graphics. I know some people have taken issues with this game in terms of all the cutscenes, but I have to admit I do enjoy the cutscenes simply because it features all the original voice cast from the cartoon series. This was a cartoon that I was a big fan of back in the day. I remember one of my fondest memories was my mum taking me to see the movie of this series in the cinema. So I'm a big fan of DuckTales. And I'm really glad to get a physical release. And just to show you, it is a physical release. Unfortunately though, it doesn't come with any manual. In fact, the instructions are sort of on the insert, which is a shame. But I highly recommend, guys, you pick up a copy. Because this is on a very limited release in the US. So if you can import a copy, definitely pick it up. It's not expensive. I initially got this copy, I imported this copy from America, and with postage it came to £24, so I was really happy to get this. But I actually didn't just get this, I ended up with 2 more copies. Now you might think, Rob, why would you need 3 copies of a game? Well, 1 copy is actually not going to stay. I'm actually giving this copy to a friend of mine for his birthday. It's his birthday, so I'm going to be giving this to him because he's also I've got a friend who does like retro games. He's not as hardcore as any of us, but he definitely likes his retro games. In fact, he's probably the only friend of mine that actually comes over to my house to play, you know, on my Mega Drive, and you know, he sort of comes over. We play a lot of PS2, Mega Drive, and you know, he's got a PS3, so he loves all these games as well. So I'm giving a copy of DuckTales for him. That's going to be his gift. And the other copy, I'm just going to keep it sealed because I reckon this is going to become a very sought after game down the line. So I just figured, you know, I'd like to have a sealed copy of it. So one to play and one to keep sealed. And I managed to get both those copies actually for, I got them separately. So I got, these two copies were actually bought from a seller in the UK. So I got them for about 20 quid a piece. So yeah, and I got this one first. So I've been playing this, and then this sort of came earlier in the week. So really happy to get those. And okay, so now we're moving on to the retro stuff here, and this is a Game Boy Advance game. It's a game that I do already have as a loose cart. It's a fantastic game. It's definitely one that I'd never played before. It was a Super Nintendo port, and I absolutely love this game. I play it a lot on the Game Boy Advance, and some of you might know that I have quite an extensive Game Boy Advance collection. Now, I'm not too bothered necessarily whether I have them boxed or loose carts. I'll take them either way. But I have a decent sized boxed and complete collection, and I like this game enough that I wanted to get it as a box game. It's just a game that I think it's one of those games that you just think, you know, this is a special game. It definitely deserves a bit more of an investment. And the game I picked up is Phalanx. I'm sorry for the glare, guys. I've got it in a box protector, but it's in lovely condition. And just to explain what Phalanx is a horizontal shoot 'em up, and it is a port of a Super Nintendo game, and it is fantastic. Such an awesome game. I'm trying to remember who was the one that actually told me about this game in the first place. I think it was Ninja Bear Hug. There's another guy I should have shouted out. Sorry, mate. Ninja Bear Hug, Stu, top guy. And Grub Gun. Going off on a tangent here, but it just came to my mind now. Grub Gun is another top guy. That's another shout out as well. Grub Gun, top guy. Sorry. I'm just all over the place today. But yeah, Phalanx. Really great game. Really have enjoyed this one. It's fantastic. I highly recommend you pick this up. Whether you get it as a loose cart or not, definitely pick up Phalanx for the Game Boy Advance or Super Nintendo, either way. Really excellent shoot 'em up. Really great graphics, just fantastic. Okay, and lastly, I've got two Super Nintendo games here. Both games sought after by me. Both for the same genre. These are two games that fall into my favourite genre. For the few of you that may not know, I'm very big into 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups. That has always been my genre. That is the genre that I played a lot when I was a kid, whether it have been in the arcades during the early 90s or on home consoles. Always big into my 2D side-scrolling beat-em-ups. And there was these two side-scrolling beat-em-ups have been games that I've wanted. One a lot more than the other, but I wanted to own them both. Before I get to my most sought-after game, this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up that I actually did have very briefly as a loose cart, but I sort of moved it on because I wanted to get a box copy. But it's proven to be very hard to get a box copy of this game. Not so much to get a box copy, but rather get a copy that was in very good nick. Usually the box copies that have shown up on eBay have been in really bad condition, very beat up boxes, and while I generally am not too bothered with the condition of the box as such, they have to be in solid shape. Excuse me. And generally they tend to be just a bit too beat up for my liking. But anyway, I managed to bag this copy. I think I paid about 40 for this, which is probably, I overpaid a little bit for it, I suppose. But I ended up getting £10 back because the seller basically had listed it with some things that did not arrive with. He basically said it was bagged. It came in a baggie and with a pamphlet and whatnot, but it didn't. It came with a manual. It's complete, but it didn't come with the stuff that he had listed. So I sort of contacted the seller to say, look, mate, this was not how you described it. And he was, you know, fair enough to the seller. He sort of owned up to it. He goes, yeah, I'm sorry, mate, I sell a lot of stuff, so you know, I'll refund you some money. So he gave me £10 back, so it wasn't too bad. And the game I picked up, I know this is not a great game, I'm very aware of this, but the game I got was Rival Turf, and it is in very nice condition. I'm sorry you can't see because of the glare, but it is in lovely condition. It is complete, and it's a game that I definitely wanted to add to my collection. I know it's not the most highly rated or sought after game for the Super Nintendo, but it's a game I enjoy. It's a fun side-scrolling beat 'em up. Obviously, it's not the best I've ever played, but it's definitely a solid game, and I enjoy it. So I'm very happy to get a PAL copy of this, fully boxed and complete. And finally, guys, this has been one that's been so annoying for me to get. It's eluded me so many times. I have bidded on this game so many times on eBay, and it's always eluded me. I've lost out on so many auctions, but I'm finally glad to get this game. Really happy. Definitely a gem, and it's in fantastic condition. So yeah, I won't keep you in suspense, guys. The game I got was Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Just very happy to get this game. You know, I mean, first side-scrolling beat 'em up that I ever played properly was the original Turtles arcade game back in the very late 80s. So I was really glad to get this. I've had a loose cart of this game for a very long time, but a loose cart just was not cutting it for me. I had to get it boxed. I decided to treat myself over Christmas. This was basically my gift to myself, and I was very happy to finally bag a copy. It is in lovely condition. The only issue with it is I mean, you probably won't see because of the glare, but that little white line you see there is, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a scratch on the box, unfortunately. But aside from that, it is fully complete. It comes with the manual, the pamphlet, as well as the Nintendo points card. The other issue with it as well, unfortunately, the cartridge is quite yellowed at the back, so I might have to replace the back of the cart. But aside from that, it's an excellent nick. So really happy to finally get a boxed and complete copy of Turtles in Time. This has been a very sought after game by me. Definitely in my top 3 most sought after games. So just so chuffed to finally get this boxed and complete. So that's it, guys. That is my pickups video of the first pickups video of 2014. Probably going to be the last pickups video for a while. I'm definitely going to be bringing my pickups down right down now, because I've got to save a lot of money coming up. Most of you know from my previous video that I'm going to be facing some financial difficulties now, so I've got to really pull back on the spending. What you saw has basically been sort of pickups from December, as well as January, but most of them are from December. I sort of spent a little bit more in December just to sort of treat myself, but otherwise, you know, I will be pulling it right back until I sort of get my financials in order. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around, hearing me waffle. I want to thank again everyone that's been watching my videos. Everyone's obviously subscribed to me. New subscribers, welcome aboard. You know, again, I really do appreciate it when people thumbs up my videos. You know, people comment on my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'm a bit slow to respond to comments. Please don't hold that against me. I will eventually get back to everyone. It's just that I watch most of my videos on my mobile, and I can't respond to comments on my mobile. I have to go onto my laptop to respond, and a lot of the times I don't really get a lot of time to sort of sit in front of my computer and sort of write. So when I do get round to it, I do eventually respond to people as much as I can. So I know I still need to respond to people from my last video, so I'm doing that slowly but surely. I'm responding to people, and of course I will respond to people who comment on this video. So yeah, again, I do want to give a shout out to all the people that I've mentioned in this video, as well as the previous video that I gave shout outs to. Another guy just came to me, Horatio. Did I mention Horatio Van Bass? I think I did. I mentioned him right at the beginning of the video. But yeah, give him a shout out anyway. And there's another guy, Long John something. Mark Horsburgh. There's another guy. Sorry, mate. Mark Horsburgh. I got to give you a shout out as well, mate. You're a top fella. Top Scottish fella. The Ryan Shan. There's another guy that just came to me now. The Ryan Shan, another top guy. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Very much appreciate it. I'll be back very soon, though, with some gameplays. I've got to do some video response videos now. But yeah. Oh. Woodland 37. Chris is shanked. The 16-bit brothers. They're just coming to me now, guys. I'm very, very sorry. Trying to give people shout outs, and then when you're trying to remember names, your mind just goes blank. But they're just coming to me now. See it. So yeah, Woodland 37, Carl, top guy. Chris is shanked, another great guy. The 16-bit brothers. Congrats on blowing up. top guys, all of them. But yeah, I'm gonna stop waffling now. Thank you very much, guys. I'll be back soon. Bye bye.